Well, howdy. Welcome here once again to the Double M Farm. This is our new house, part 5. I was waiting till some things got done before I gave an update on the house, but I've had some people inquire about how's it going, so I thought I'd do a quick update. Here you see the house. The outside work is pretty much completed. They got the siding put on each end, so it actually looks like a house. And as you can see, the brick has arrived for the underpinning. We're not doing a vinyl skirt, we're doing a brick underpinning. Marie picked out the brick. We got this home through Marty Wright Homes on their Anderson lot. They have several locations. We got it their Anderson, South Carolina lot. And you can pick out the color of brick you want out of about, I think it was like 9 different choices. And Marie picked it out. I think she picked out a pretty good brick. It's got some lighter color in it, which will bring out the lighter siding. And then it's got some dark in it that will go with the shutters and the darker siding. This is a 1,897 square foot home, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and I do not have access to it yet. We're waiting on the county building inspector to come sign off on the work underneath, the drain lines and all, so that they can start on the brick underpinning. And our main reason for doing this video series was for anyone who is contemplating buying a mobile home and have never bought one and are wondering about the ups and downs and what it's like and the quality. Let's address quality first. They're not trailers anymore. If you want to live in a trailer, like you see in the older trailer parks, and I'm not throwing off on them, I'm just stating fact. If you want to live in a trailer, you have to buy something older. There's very little left available on the new market at any of the dealerships that qualify as the term trailer that we used to use all the time, people that lived in the trailer park. There was a time in the 80s and 90s when that had a bad thought, and I guess a lot of people who look down their nose at other people still feel that way. But there just aren't a lot of those left if you're going to buy new. So don't expect to go on the lot and buy a quote-unquote cheap trailer, because they're just almost non-existent now. Now, having said that, you can get, as far as quality in a mobile home, you can get pretty much anything you want, higher quality or lower quality, based on the amount of money you're willing to spend. I would say, based on everything we looked at during our shopping experience, picking out a home, that if you stay in that, I'm going to say, and this again, I'm in upstate South Carolina, so it's going to be different prices in different markets. In our market, I'm going to say if you stay in that, for double wides, if you stay in that $150,000 to $240,000 range, you're going to get a very high quality home, again, in our market. Now that'll vary by market. I'm sure it's higher in other parts of the country and other parts of the world. It's funny, I got a comment from a very good friend of mine who lives in Estonia, has a very good YouTube channel called Ant's Pants. Hilarious young man. I love him. We communicate a lot. I keep telling him I'm going to paddle my canoe across the Atlantic Ocean to visit him. But he saw the very first video where the house was being delivered, and he sent me a smiley face and said, "Only in America can you buy a house and have it delivered by truck." So I thought that was hilarious. And so in other countries, and you know, it depends on where you're watching this. I'm sure in other countries, there are countries where something like this isn't available. But again, getting back to that price, I've told you what I think in our market. You can go as high as you want to go, and the higher you go in price, the higher the quality of the home. But really, you reach a point when you get above that $200 to $240 to $280,000 double wide home, you're getting to a point where you're not really increasing the quality of the home as far as the construction and the insulation and that kind of thing. What you're getting into then is the fancy stuff, the trimming inside, the fireplaces, and all the fancy overhead beams, and glamour baths, and you start getting into a lot of eye candy when you start really getting up in those higher price range. What we wanted was plain and simple, but we wanted room, we wanted space. Many of you know who follow along on our channel that my wife Marie is away, bless her heart. She's never here. Main reason for doing these videos was so she can see what's happening. She's 4 hours away helping take care of her elderly mother. So hey to y'all, I know they're watching those. Love both of you. And so she can't be here, and it's about to drive her crazy. So I like to do these just for no other reason, for her to be able to see what's happening. But she bought this thing sight unseen, basically, and agreed to it, and then she was able to come up and walk through it for about 15 minutes before it was delivered. So she hasn't even been here since the house has been put on the land. So she has not set foot back on the homestead since the house has been here. She's only seen pictures and the videos that I've posted. We have a wonderful mountain view that you can't see right at the moment because of the leaves, but in the fall when all the leaves fall off, we have a mountain view from there all the way around to there. I'm going to cut some of those taller trees to give us a better summertime view. It doesn't show up good on camera, but I can see the mountains in between the trees right there. But that's why we like this house with these windows. We'll be able to eat breakfast at the bar right there and look out at the mountains. And I'm sure this won't show up on camera with the glare, but you may be able to get a little bit of an idea of the inside. It's just a great room. That's a living room and dining area, and the kitchen's right there. Yeah, a lot of glare on the glass, but anyhow, you get a general idea. But we've been very pleased with Marty Wright. They've worked extremely hard. Don't expect fast. A lot of people think when they buy a mobile home that it's gonna be fast. It's not like building a site-built house. We're gonna buy the house, they're gonna bring it, put it on our lot, and 2 weeks we're in it. It don't work that way, especially if you're working with a dealership that has a good reputation and does a good job, because that means they're very busy and they're selling a lot of homes. And so you got a waiting list to get things done. We closed on this house on June the 13th, and the day that I'm recording this is August the 11th. And as you can see, we're not in it yet, but we're close. We're down to just the inspection and the brick skirting, and then hopefully we'll be in it. So just don't expect, if you've never bought a home, even a single wide will be a little bit faster because obviously there's not as much involved in setting it up. But after it was put together, then the trim crew had to come and finish the inside. They had to put sheetrock where the two halves on the marriage wall, where the two halves come together. They had to put some sheetrock. Ooh, that ain't gonna work through the screen. But so they had to do that, and put the siding on each end. So there's a lot of things involved with a double wide that aren't involved with a single wide. So there will be a little bit faster process. But you've got to decide, do I want to go with a dealership that is very busy and may take a little bit longer to get in it because they're busy? Or do you want to go with a dealership that's not busy? But then you got to stop and ask yourself, why aren't they busy? Why, maybe there's something wrong with them. Maybe they don't do quite as good a work. Maybe they're too high in price. I will tell you with Marty Wright, and Marty Wright is not sponsoring this video. They've not paid me anything, but I've been well pleased with them, and they've worked with us in every way possible. And with Marty Wright, when you buy the home, it includes everything you see here. The only thing that I've got to pay for that wasn't included in the price of the home was the septic tank, and that's why there's so much dirt there. They just put that in yesterday. So we got that checked off the list. In a pouring rain, but we're up here on this hill, and it stopped raining about an hour after they started digging, and by the time they were through, the dirt was dry. I mean, it just runs off. So that was good. But when we paid for the house, that included everything that you're seeing being done except the septic tank. They came in before the house was set, and you can go back and look at the other videos. They hauled in dirt, they leveled, hauled in dirt to build up a pad so that water will not run towards the house, it'll run away from the house. They then bored holes everywhere you see pilings of cement block under the house. They bored holes and poured concrete about 3 foot deep. So this house is sitting on a concrete footing foundation, just like a site-built house. And then, of course, they're going to brick around it. So basically, and obviously it's tied down, that's an insurance thing. But basically, you're looking at a site-built house, and all of that, again, was included in the price of the house. And after shopping with various lots, we kept going back to them and just found the best quality of home for the money invested, plus everything we're getting. Everything they're doing here would have cost us extra. We could have bought another home for the same price, but it didn't include, it was a nice home at another lot, but it didn't include all of the setup. That was going to cost us another $35,000 for all the setup. So, you know, and again, these prices are here. They'll be different maybe where you are, but all in all, we are extremely pleased with the way everything has gone. Would love it to be a little bit faster, but it is what it is. You have to realize they're selling a couple of houses a week. So just look at the people that are stacked up behind us waiting for theirs to get done. And nowadays, seems like ever since COVID, it's hard to find people to work. And all of this stuff is being done by independent contractors that Marty Wright contracts to do this work. And I will tell you, the young man that did all of the trim and sheetrock work on the inside, his name's Brandon. And there are it's odd, there's like 4 different Brandons on 4 different crews doing work here. One of the guys that did the foundation and dirt pad was named Brandon. So I get confused because I have so many Brandons contacting me on the phone about different things. But Brandon that did the inside work, he just finished yesterday. And that young man, he knew how anxious we were to get this done because of Marie and her mother being so far away and them wanting to get up here. He worked overnight. There was a couple of nights where I would leave in the afternoon and come back the next morning, and he was still here. He'd been here all night. So kudos to him, and I hate that he worked so hard and almost killed himself, but he did an outstanding job. So I hope this helps answer some questions for people who are wondering what it's like to buy a mobile home, the things you have to go through. And it can be frustrating at times, there's no doubt about that. But we're still going to be in it in between 10 to 12 weeks. And you sure ain't going to build a site-built house that quick. And of course, people that hate mobile homes are going to say, yeah, but you ain't got as good a home. Well, I'll beg to differ with you. I'm 70 years old. This will more than last what I've got left in my lifetime. And then I'll leave it to my son, and it'll be up to him as to what happens to it. I won't have to worry about it. But the way it's set up on the foundation it's on, it's a Energy Star home, well insulated. I mean, you can go in there with it sitting with no electricity turned on, and it's August. It's 98 degrees in the middle of the day, and it'll be cooler in the house. It just, I don't know, it's just well insulated. The attic's full of insulation. It's just, it's a well-built home. And if there's anyone in an area where there's a Marty Wright dealership and you're interested in a mobile home, I would encourage you to give them a look, see, and a try. Because we are very pleased with them, and we are more than happy with the job they're doing. And I really can't think of anything bad to say about them other than it's going to take a little time because they're just so darn busy, but that's because they're just so darn good. So, you know, you have to be willing to take that with the fact that you're dealing with good people. So I appreciate you taking the time here to listen to me go on and on and on and blabber and be long-winded like I always seem to be. So again, appreciate you visiting us here on the Double M Farm, and I'll be talking with you real soon with some more updates on other things that are really going to be happening here on the farm.